you guys don't want to be on camera. If you don't mind being on camera, you probably can do it. Raise your hand now if you don't want to be on camera. Okay, so everyone's good. Wait, my hair's horrible.
Big smile on my face.
So just a little bit about myself. I just moved here to San Antonio. I've lived up in Killeen in Bexar County before, but I'm in the Army, so I'm always
So did I retired at it.
right.
Yeah.
So my background with community gardening is before I joined the Army, I was a part of a community of people who promoted community gardening through its own nonprofit, Long Beach Organic. And then we also had a co-op in our house where we resourced fresh produce from the different farms in Southern California, as well as a drop-off point for community-supported agriculture, as well as, we modeled permaculture in our backyard, which is a permanent agriculture sustainability project. And so that was my inspiration and turned on into community gardening, what kind of power it has, in terms of teaching young people about, where their food comes from, taking power about where I eat from, and just maintaining a high level of consciousness about that. And so when I moved to San Antonio a week ago, I was like, well, where's the community garden?
You just moved here a week ago? You got this going?
Yeah.
So are you still in the military?
I am.
Oh, okay.
I'm at Fort Sam for the IPAP program.
Okay.
The physician assistant program.
And what do you do in the West?
I'm going to school to be a physician assistant.
Oh, PA. Oh, and they send you through school. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So my first year is here in San Antonio.
Okay.
I just wanted to take this time to see what people know about community gardening and share what information I have. So if we want to go around and just kind of talk about our experience with gardening, community gardening, why you're here, and your name, that would help just real quick, and then we'll just go on from there.
Sure. Well, I'm Brian again. I was going to say very little, but I'm just going to go ahead and say absolutely nothing about community gardening. I'm here to learn more about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm Melissa, and I also grew up in Bell County, so I gardened as a kid, but I really don't remember anything. It was more of a chore than anything, but I am interested in learning about growing vegetables. I'm Veronica, and I have a purple thumb that kill everything that I touch. So I'd like to stop doing that. And I just love fresh fruits and vegetables. And eventually, I'm renting right now, but eventually I want to buy a house, and I want to be able to garden.
I'm Terry, and I just do very small scale organic gardening in my backyard. And I just like the idea of community gardening.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I wanted to share with you guys. Jason, did you want to say something?
My name's Jason, and I have a YouTube channel called youtube.com/organictexas, and it's Texas spelled out, and I have a whole bunch of videos there on gardening, organic living, and permaculture and things like that. So some of the garden places around the nurseries have classes on the weekends, so I'll go to those and film them and upload them to YouTube. So it's a good resource. I'm a beginning gardener. I probably killed more plants than I've actually gotten fruit from. So every time something like this pops up, I try to get it on film for everybody.
But just so you guys know, Jason's YouTube channel is an excellent resource. I was able to peruse it before we came to the meetup. Well, when he RSVP'd, and just he's got an exhaustive list of of videos. People talking about landscape design, people talking about vegetable gardening, people talking about what works and what doesn't, just all kinds of stuff. So as a resource, if for some reason you can't get to all these different things being put on by the botanical gardens or by, Texas agriculture or master gardeners, any of that stuff, you can go to this website and just get a whole heap of information. It's a great resource.
What exactly is permaculture? I keep hearing that word.
I was just pulling that up on the Google for everyone. But essentially, it's permanent agriculture. It was a phrase coined by a guy from Australia, Dr. Bill Mollison. And he talked about ways of building food systems that were highly productive and also sustainable, looking at natural systems as models for how to model our gardening or food production systems, as well as living systems, because it goes from food production all the way to like whole-scale living, you know, in terms of living in cob houses, for example, which I actually stayed in a straw bale house when I went to travel to New Zealand, and it was awesome. It was beautiful, it was clean, pristine, and they just used different types of building materials, and they also paid attention to like the climate that they lived in, because that makes a difference. So it's like, instead of doing something that's cookie cutter and you can just do it anywhere in the world, at any climate, at any, you know, then they just stopped for a minute and said, well, you know what, we live in this climate, and it's sustainable for us to use straw bales, for example, as the foundation for our house, and we'll build 2x4s around the straw bales, and we'll plaster that, and then you have all these nice rounded walls, no square corners, like in any part of the house, and then it was just, you know, a lovely place to live. And I can show you pictures of it when we're done if you want. But so there's a lot of ways, but the 7-layer gardening system is a big piece of the permaculture concept that Bill Mollison coined, and he has books like this big on them, and also permaculture design courses and things like that. And there's actually a gentleman who's in the San Antonio area who's just starting up the permaculture training camp. Yeah, in San Antonio. Yeah, he might be able to come tonight. We'll see. But his name's Dr. Evans. He's an Army upgrade. So if you know,
Cowboy hat.
Yep. So that's what permaculture is, and I just wanted to give you guys like a Wikipedia idea of what community gardening is, and actually we have the American Community Garden Association is a good resource for wanting to know how to start a community garden and what it's all about. But it's pretty much any piece of land that's gardened by several people. And you can have many purposes, but a lot of it is to green up an area that's blighted in a city or a town. A way to just bring people together to do something on a common project. It can be a market garden where you're fundraising for either the neighborhood association or a nonprofit or anything like that. It encourages self-reliance, so we're not relying on other people to give us our food. We know where our food comes from and what that's all about. And it provides nutritious food, low-cost organic food. You know, you don't have to go to Whole Foods and pay $5 for a tomato, you know. And it's just a way to build both the community and the things that sustain us. As far as community gardening in San Antonio, there are over 19 different community gardens in this area. And let me just pass out what I was able to get from Green Spaces Alliance. Is a list of all the community gardens in the area and the contact people who can help you get involved with it. Because they all have different ways that they operate. Some are, you know, looser than others. Others have different rules. But I actually have a map of where all the community gardens are in town. And so you guys can take a look at that and kind of find the one that's closest to you. This is actually a little more recent than this list that we got from Green Spaces Alliance. We both are from Green Spaces. No, I got it directly from the garden manager. Fort Sam was like more like you're near Randolph, so you're probably the closest one is in Rockville. Randolph.
I'm in Alamo, right?
So it's like a pair. There's probably South Preston is a little bit. I said South Preston is a
St. Elmo High School District, but I'm not far, like I'm 2 miles from, what do you call it, 2 miles from Harry Wurzbach and Eisenhower. You know, so I'm like in the back, whenever I go to Fort Sam, I take the back gate. So where would
So
it be?
Werner might
Where
be the
is
best.
Fort Sam?
Fort Sam is like right. I want to say it's right around here.
Right around here, and then Elmo Heights is up here, or
I think Alamo Heights is
over there?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would be maybe around here.
Yeah, because the garden that I'm going to go to from Fort Sam when I go to
Okay.
work is going to be Woodard Garden right there.
Okay, and that's probably convenient because it's only like maybe